Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's been a week since I've injured my foot, so I am still quite sore, but I'm just going to take it easy. So today I've brought you to the top of a place called Gwainesca Hill, and you're going to see some terrific views behind me in a minute. So today I'm going to take you to a Neolithic mound. It's the second largest one in the UK, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get there. There is a cave there and 14 skeletons were found there. But look at this for an amazing view. Okay, so I've just walked through the village of Gwainesca, a little quaint Welsh village in North Wales. My local watering hole is in that village, the Eagle and Child Inn. It's a really nice pub, so if you're ever in the area, guys, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description to their website. They have some unusual opening hours, but they usually open in the evenings. They're family friendly, nice. It's a nice warm atmosphere in there, all home cooked food. I think they have cask ales in there sometimes. So yeah, it's Mike and Sue that own it, really nice couple. It's dog friendly, and it's also hiker friendly because it's situated right near the Offers Dyke path. So as you can see, I'm in the woodlands now. These trees are probably only about 50-60 years old, predominantly pine. There was some fairly large beech trees in here before the logging company came in and took all them, and even then they was only maybe 100 years old, not very old at all. So it's my personal opinion that this woodland wasn't actually here in the Neolithic period. So I'm just making my way up the public footpath now up to the cairn itself. This is the second largest one in the UK, I don't know if I already said that. The first largest one is Silbury in Wiltshire, of this type of cairn. So yeah, like I say, we're going to make our way up the public footpath, and I'll bring you back when we get a bit closer to the cairn and tell you about the period and the cairn itself. Oh, it's good to rest the old foot. Oh, a bit windy today as well, so I don't know how that's going to affect filming, but there we go. Right, so let's rewind the clock a little bit and talk about human history. So to begin with, we had the Paleolithic period, which was basically, to you and I, the Stone Age period. We all know about the Stone Age. There was hunter-gatherers. They lived in very small groups, 2 or 3 individuals or families, and they moved from place to place wherever the food sources took them. Cave dwellers and that kind of thing. Then we went into the megalithic period, which is kind of a transition period between the Paleolithic and the Neolithic. So the cairn that we're going to visit today is a Neolithic one, and I want to explain a little bit what was going on in that period of time. So after the megalithic period, we're going into the Neolithic period. Now we are talking thousands of years of transition here, so roughly between 10 and 12,000 years ago the Neolithic period started, BCE to be correct, so at 0 when we first started making calendars, which we don't actually know when calendars were started to be produced, but at the 0 year, 12,000 or 10,000 years before that was the Neolithic period. So what was going on in that period of time, in the Neolithic period? So as I've just said, we came out of the Paleolithic and the megalithic periods, where we was moving around, we was hunter-gatherers, moving all over the place. In the Neolithic period, we actually started to becoming a bit more civilized and live in larger groups. At that time, they was the first farmers. They was beginning to keep livestock, and domesticate animals like dogs, cats. They had horses, you know, all what we would know of farmlands today, and how we live, they was doing back then, although they did it outside. This is a period also a little bit before the Iron Age and the Bronze Age. That came a little bit later on, but again we were talking about a transition period after the Neolithic period, where we started to find elements and metals in the earth, and we started to fashion tools and what have you out of them. So that's a little bit of background on the Neolithic period. So we've just got a little bit more to walk yet, guys, but I'm going to rest my foot up for a little bit. There's a little bit more to walk, and then I'll bring you back when we're actually there. Okay, so there it is, just in the background. So it is windy, so I'm not sure if I can do any audio up there, because it is a bit too windy. So just to give you a little bit of background on the monument itself, it was investigated archaeologically in 1886 by a guy called William Boyd Dawkins, and he put 3 shafts into this cairn to try and ascertain if it was a burial mound. He put 1 in the top, and we'll see the dip where that supposedly is, and 2 in the sides. So yeah, he did some excavations and he didn't find anything, but lower down there's a cave. But yeah, so there's the cairn. It's second largest one in the UK of Neolithic period anyway. And we're going to take a walk up to the top now. Okay guys, it's really windy up here, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. But if I just point to that tree line there, that's where I was stood before. I don't know if you can see a little bench down there. That's where I was stood before. So it gives you some perspective on how big this thing is. It was man-made by human hands. Absolutely huge it is. So I'm going to spin you around now, and we can have a look at the view from up here. Okay guys, I hope you can hear me. I've got my back to the wind to try and help out the microphone a little bit. So in this area here, just around this area, is where it's believed that William Dawkins put his shaft in to try and ascertain what this place was used for, if it was a burial mound. He put this shaft in here, and he put 2 more in on the sides. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to risk looking around the sides today with my ankle. We can always come back another day and try and find them. So yeah, he did the excavations and he didn't find anything. There was no evidence of it being a burial mound. So we don't actually know what this place was. We can only date it from things that have been found here. So flint arrowheads have been found here, which have dated it to the Neolithic period. Now, we'll have a walk round the edge over there, and I'll show you what's down in the dips and what have you, and then we'll make us way to the cave, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the cave when we get there. So this is the other side of the monument. You can see how steep it is. Not much to see down there really. A little bit of limestone down there, so it's all made out of limestone. I'll just pan you around for the views again. So I apologise if the audio is a bit rubbish, guys. I'm not filming in the best conditions. Hope this microphone is doing the job. So we'll soon see if it is. If not, I'll just put a load of music over this bit. So let's crack on. Be very careful going down it. It wasn't so bad coming up, but very careful going down. As you guys know, I've injured my foot last week trying to make this exact video. So let's crack on and let's go and have a look at the cave. Okay guys, so we're at the cave entrance. So when William Boyd in 1886 was excavating on the cairn, he was also looking around the area as well, and he came across the cave. We do know that he found something here. 14 skeletons was found in the burial chamber behind me. There was a stone axe found, numerous pieces of flint and flint arrowheads. So obviously the bones can be carbon dated, and it puts it slap bang right in the Neolithic period. So we definitely know that this is a Neolithic cave. I will be taking you in there. It's a little bit slippy, a bit rocky, so I'm going to have to watch my foot obviously. But I've had special permission to actually camp here tonight in the cave. I've got two options, and you'll see both of them options in a minute. But how fantastic is that? To do what I do, you know, bushcraft, hunting, not hunter-gatherer, but certainly the gathering bit of bushcraft, that's where it all came from, that period of time. Now, I did say that in that period of time, in the Neolithic period, they was becoming a little bit more civilised. There was mainly farmers, but there's nothing to say that they didn't go out and use the land still and, you know, pick wild edibles, berries, leaves, all that kind of thing. There's nothing to say they didn't do that still. So yeah, let's, well, I've got the torch in hand, so let's get cracking and have a look inside. So I've got two potential camping spots actually. There's one just there and there's one just here. Now there is some markings on this rock. I'm actually crouched down at the moment as we go in. So yeah, you can see some markings on the rock here. Whether this was made in the Neolithic period, maybe there was sharpening flint arrowheads on it, I don't know. I am not an archaeologist, so there's an actual date down here. I've never noticed that before. 1741. So it's possible that these markings aren't actually Neolithic. Bit of a mystery, that one. But why would you put 1741, 1711? 1711, I think that says. There's some more. There's a J there. There's a little bit more down here, an A. So, 1711. Maybe a little bit of ancient graffiti. Never noticed that before. Anyway, at least stop waffling. So, we are going into the cave here. I'm actually knelt down. I'll put the torch on, but we're not going to see very much at the moment. Just here, there's a little shaft up there. Never noticed that before. There's up there. So I might just have a look in there in a minute. So let's crack on. So I don't know how much you've seen of this, guys, but I'm now stood up properly. Smiley face and a bit of graffiti. Which you get in all these places, which is a shame given the age of this burial chamber. So let's go in a bit further. I'm having to be really careful of my foot, guys. So here we are in the main chamber bit, if you like. If you can see up in the roof up there, there's some calcite formations. There's little pockets everywhere that probably don't go anywhere, but so that's looking back at the cave entrance. And just around the corner here, without me falling over. I'm not going to take us in today, guys, obviously because of my foot, but just down there, if you can see that, if I shine the light to the back, so just about there where the light's shining is actually the dead end. You can crawl through there and actually stand up, but there's nothing in there really to see. It's just a very, very small chamber. So yeah, it's green formations there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. So it's certainly interesting. It's certainly an interesting place. So let's spin you around. Looking back down there to the entrance. Really slippy in here. Yeah, so I didn't mention before, sorry, this is actually called Gop Cave, and the cairn itself is called Gop Cairn, but it's locally known as the Gop. So there we go, guys, a little bit of a cave explore. There is another one. Ooh, where are we? There is another little cave just round the corner. I'll show you the entrance to that, but I'm certainly not going in that because that is, you have to squeeze to get into that one. As far as I know, nothing's ever been found in there. The main portion of the archaeological finds were in this cave. So yeah, fantastic. Right, so I just thought I'd show you where the second cave is. So it's basically down there. It is a crawl through and it's not that big in there. So if you do find this cave, it's right next door to it. So I've got two options where I can camp. Either move all them stones off that piece of rock there and sleep on that, or over where my bag is, you can see a log there, tuck myself right underneath there. I think that is going to be the best option. Right guys, so this was going to be my original idea, to use the tarp. This is the DD 3x3 tarp. Then I've got the larger green one is the XL Magic Carpet by DD. Then I've got a piece of canvas from the cot bed. Then I was going to have my inflatable mat, which I've got a new one of them, so I'll show you that in a second. And then I was going to put my DD Dura sleeping bag on top of that. Now, because the wind is coming in this way, in the night it might blow rain in if it starts to rain. So I've decided to go actually in the cave. Just trying to get camp organised, guys, so I just thought I'd show you this little thing that I bought. Really compact, there's the size of my hand. It is a inflatable mat. It's not self-inflating, you do have to work a bit for this one. It's by Equine, is that how you pronounce it? Not sure, it's probably the wrong way around the writing anyway because I'm using the front-facing camera. So yeah, brand new, never used it. The other one did burst, that I've had for 2 or 3 years at least. Got a puncture, the second puncture it's had. I couldn't really be bothered fixing it. So I thought I'd treat myself to one of these. It's only about 24 quid. You do get a little repair packet with it. So yeah, it's lightweight. I think when I put it on the scales it came in at about 420 grams I think, so dead lightweight. So let's see how this performs. I bet it never goes back that size, you know. So yeah, let's give it a go. Might be here a while, guys. I'll bring you back in a minute. Right guys, it didn't actually take that long to blow up. They could have designed the air hole a little bit better, but it's a fairly long one. You're not going to be able to see it, but you'll see it when it's in the cave. So let's get it in the cave. Right guys, time for a spot of tea. Got baked beans, a couple of beef flavoured noodles, a few packets of crisps, but yeah, I'm just going to boil some water up, get my noodles on and have a brew. So I'm just going to put 2 hexes on to begin with. And then that should be enough to do that. And just as it's burning out, I'll stick another one on. Let's get it stable. There we are. So I'll stick another hexie on, or another couple of hexes when that's burnt down, but that should be enough to boil that water I've put in there. And then I'll add the beans and the 2 packets and just mix it through, and that'll do for me tea. So yeah, camping in a cave. Your food doesn't have to be expensive. Noodles don't cost much. 5 packets for £1. They're not bad, it's just noodles but made out of eggs, so plenty of protein. Whack a few beans in there. All I can taste is the Chinese spice though, so I think I put too much in. So I've got my brew. Just going to see if I can pick up the radio station. Listen to Radio 4 at night time. So being in a cave, I know that I can't get a signal on my phone. So being in a cave, I just wondered if we can get radio station. Brilliant. So that's me happy. That's my entertainment sorted tonight. I do like to listen to Radio 4. Very, very informative. So yeah, it's. I don't actually know if they would have had a fire when they was doing burials, or whether they just brought them here to bury them. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can tell me. I don't know that much about the Neolithic period, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's alright. It's different. It's certainly different. So some people may be wondering, is it going to freak me out sleeping where 14 skeletons have been? No, not really. I'm not into all that spiritual stuff. Not a great believer in it. I suppose it's a little bit like camping in a graveyard. The difference being, in a graveyard, all the skeletons are still there, or remains of humans, should I say. but it's not the case here. The skeletons are well gone. I don't believe in all that spiritual stuff, so I shouldn't have any problems. Just coincidentally, all the finds that have been found here, I'm not sure if the skeletons are there, but certainly the pieces of flint and the stone axe that was found here, ironically are in Buxton Museum. I'll leave a link in the description. Some of you may know that Buxton is about 12 miles away from where I used to live in the High Peak district in Derbyshire. So there could be another video coming up to do with this cave. I'm going to contact the curator at the museum and see if they'll give me access to have a look at what was found in this cave. So yeah, watch out for that video if I do make one. So yeah, it's not going to freak me out. Yeah, the odd drip of water in there, but that's about it. Just gone 8 o'clock, guys, so it's going to be getting dark soon. So I thought I'd have a snack. Roysters T-bone. It's like the UCL, guys. It's going very dust now. So what's in here? Right guys, so just lit the UCL candle lantern and it is lighting this little bit up. That'll burn for 9 hours now, brilliant. I've got the torch in there, obviously I'm lighting myself up with, and as you can see from the cave entrance it's just going dusk, so I'm going to stop recording now. But before I do, I'm just going to spin the camera around and show you in the cave with the torch, and it's pitch black, and I'll see you all in the morning, guys. Morning guys, it's about 3:45 in the morning. Just woke up to go to the toilet, but what I thought was stay awake for an hour or so. I was going to walk back to the viewing area at the top of Wyeska Hill and show you it all lit up at night. Not a bad view, is it guys? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. If this is the first video you've watched, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell, and then you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I will be doing other videos like this in the future, and I'd just like to say once again thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.